Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Matt here with OddsJam. Let's talk about Game 5 of the World Series. So it's been a pretty ridiculous back and forth of the World Series so far, with the Phillies getting no hit last night and losing 5-0, giving up all 5 of those runs in one inning. So in 8.5 innings of play, not a single run was scored. Astros got 5, I think it was in the 5th. That was the game. Phillies couldn't muster up a hit the day after, getting 5 home runs and scoring 7 runs. Just shows you really baseball is all about the pitching matchup and if that pitcher has it or not. Nola did mostly have it last night. He just gave up 3 straight singles in the 5th. They pulled him and then the wheels fell off from there. Looking at the matchup, it's kind of funny. If you just look at the names, Justin Verlander versus Noah Syndergaard, you'd say huge advantage to the Astros. And then if you look at the postseason ERA, Verlander's got a 7.2 ERA. Syndergaard's got 1.7. Now, that's obviously incredibly skewed because Verlander, in his 3 starts, has gotten shelled twice, whereas Syndergaard has barely pitched. Now, we have enough of a sample size to suggest that there's something up with Verlander specifically pitching in the World Series. I don't know what it is. He looked great in the first, I think, 3 innings of Game 1, then just got pummeled. Obviously, you're still going to give the pitching matchup advantage to the Astros, clearly to the Astros, not even close. You know, the Phillies losing the Nola game last night really hurt because now they have a bullpen game in Game 5, and no matter what, they have to go back to Houston. So even though, like you say, going up, it shouldn't be a devastating loss, considering that Astros were down 2-1. Kind of was a devastating loss when you look at it that way. But Phillies have answered every call so far in the postseason, so we will see. I'm not writing them off, but I am a little bit nervous about this pitching matchup. So looking at betting for this game specifically, so unsurprisingly, if you want to line shop, and you can do this for completely free, go to oddsjam.com, sports, MLB. It's not a surprise that the Astros are pretty heavy favorites here. Best odds you can get on them, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see everything. Best odds you can get on them on the money line are minus 147. Granted, these are on Pinnacle, and generally we're trying to bet outliers of Pinnacle, so not a ton of value here. Best odds you can get on the Phillies are at plus 142. That's on PlayUp, also offered at Bet Online, another sportsbook that we use to kind of set the market. So I don't really have a play here on the money line. If I had to give my prediction, I think the Astros probably win. Like the pitching matchup difference, assuming Verlander is somewhat of his Cy Young form. He's probably going to win Cy Young this year. It has to favor the Astros, but it's the first loss the Phillies have suffered at home. So who knows? I've learned to not write out the Phillies, but also if you're just looking at it logically, the Astros should win. The run line, probably going to be a 1-run game, I would imagine, even though none of the World Series games has been 1 run. The best bet is going to be on the Phillies, but I'm not touching the run line. I'd rather just take money line. The total is what's interesting. So it's pretty universally across the board at 7.5. The total has actually gone under this number the past 2 games, which is kind of funny considering like the Phillies put up 7 runs, the Astros put up 5 in an inning. You just assume that game goes over. Teams couldn't hit outside of that. So I would probably guess that this game goes over if I had to give my official prediction. I don't think the Phillies bats are going to be that quiet again 2 games in a row. I also don't trust Syndergaard on the bump, so I would guess it goes over, but there's not any really value on betting the over or the under at this point in time. Obviously, continue to monitor the sports books, continue to monitor the lines because lines shift over the course of the day, but I'm not going to have an official bet on the total. Where I will have an official bet, and this was actually a positive expected value play that I found using OddsJam, is on the total in the first inning. I'm going with yes run first inning in this game, plus 115 at Bet Rivers. Also offered at Barstool at plus 115 as well because they have the same exact odds. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in. Just a half unit play here. I'm not super confident. Like yesterday, I put a full unit on the Nerfy. That hit. I'm not as confident in the yes run first inning today. I just find it very likely. I mean, I'm really betting on Syndergaard to give up a run, to be honest with you. He's not a great no run first inning pitcher. He generally trends towards giving up runs in the first inning. And Syndergaard against this Astros lineup is scary. A hot Astros lineup is scary. So I'm basically betting on him giving up a run. I think it's a good play. It is positive expected value, as I mentioned. I found it using OddsJam. So the no vig odds that OddsJam calculates prices this to be at about plus 114. So any number above these Novig odds is going to be positive EV. We can get it at plus 115 at BetRivers/Barstool. So that's what I ended up taking. Let me just add this one to my bet tracker. OddsJam offers a bet tracker for completely free, which is really cool. So if you just want to make sure that you're tracking your bets and understanding whether you're profitable or not, you can do that for completely free using OddsJam. But that's going to be it. So just one bet for me today for this video. Yes run first inning in the Astros versus Phillies game 5. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching and have a good one.